Presented by 10 Band TV, it's Berg Hockey Live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest YouTube page and streaming on Vimeo at petershockey.tv. I'm Matt Geica, and this is PIHL Hockey Class AAA edition as the Peters Township Indians host the Baldwin Highlanders at Prince-Scape Arena in South Point. For the first time ever, Baldwin, the new addition to Class AAA, or at least the first time in this modern era for Baldwin, as they earn the promotion from AA with a Penguins Cup victory last year as per the PIHL's promotion formula. Gotta love it. It's all based on merit in this league in Western Pennsylvania. So Baldwin gets the bump to AAA, and they're doing quite well, but not quite as well as the Peters Township squad. PT coached by Rick Tingle, and if you watched last Tuesday's presentation of the game here against Upper St. Clair, well, you saw another offensive bonanza. Peters Township dropping 10 on the USC Panthers, including 5 points, career-high 5 points for senior Ben Kovac. He now is the team leader in points with 27 on the season and just 4 back of, or I mean, he's 5 back of Connor Chi of North Allegheny for number 1 in all of Class AAA. So, Ben Kovac, the sophomore, his brother Caleb is the senior. So, the younger of the two making a big debut here this season, and I guess youth shall lead them for Peters Township because right next to him in the point-scoring list for Peters Township is William Tomko, the freshman. He added 4 points last time out, 2 goals and 2 assists, and he is right there amongst all the top scorers in the top division in the PIHL. Also scoring last week, Ryder Mertens had 2 goals. Austin Malley had 3 points, a career best for him, a goal and 2 helpers. And even Jacob Smiga got his first point of the season. It was a night to cash in on opportunities for sure. And Smiga, just his 5th varsity game, the senior forward, picked up an assist there. So you can read really the entire box score online and pick out certain notables and things that stand out from a 10-3 win. One thing that stands out to me, though, no special teams in the entire game. There were no penalties at all. So Peters Township did it all at even strength. And that's been their MO under Rick Tingle, really, in this long stretch of success that they've had. And they've advanced past at least the first round of the playoffs in 7 consecutive seasons. They'll be looking to make it 8 here in just a couple of weeks, but they're also still on the hunt for the top seed overall in the regular season. Peters Township comes into tonight's game with a record of 11-4-1. They've won 5 in a row dating back to before the holiday break. They have 23 total points, and they trail the defending champion North Allegheny Tigers by 4 at the top of the standings with 3 games to go. So not a lot of opportunities here. If Peters Township gets all 6 points available in their final 3 games, they have a decent shot at catching NA, but still, it's going to be difficult. So all they can do is handle their own business, keep the positive momentum going, and what we've seen in recent weeks lends no indication otherwise. In fact, if you go outside of PIHL play, Peters Township also fared well this past weekend at Notre Dame, the campus of the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana. They played in the Hoosier Cup National Invitational, did the Tribe, and they went 3-1, advancing all the way to the semifinals, losing to Glenbrook South, who beat North Allegheny, of all teams, in the final round. But along the way, Peters Township defeated DeMatha Catholic of Maryland near Washington, D.C., 5-3. Lake Central from Northern Indiana, 4-0. And Sylvania Northview from suburban Toledo, 5-2. So Peters Township not only getting it done in league play, but also away from league competition. And they advanced to the final of a tournament at Meadville a couple of weeks ago as well. So even though the regular season has been a little sparse here in the second half, Coach Tingle and crew have managed to keep this team busy and filled in some of the gaps here because after the break, Peters Township only had 6 games left. That was the fewest in all of Class AAA. So they had to find a way to keep things rolling here. They had a 3-week break, in fact, between a win against Ken McMillan and a victory over North Allegheny in the middle of January. So here they are tonight against Baldwin with 3 games remaining. They'll play tonight. They'll play next Tuesday. Then they'll have a week off before they face Ken and Mac here on March the 1st to close the regular season. PT dressed tonight in the white down to our left. For Baldwin, down to our right, you'll get a look at the Highlanders club that has been leaning on its special teams. Both its power play and its penalty kill are a top 3 in the league, and also defense. It's allowed just 2.2 goals per game. It's a real match of strengths here this evening because Peters Township is the highest scoring team in Class AAA at 5 goals scored per game. Meanwhile, Baldwin allowing just a shade over 2. Senior goalie Eddie Wicki, a big part of that effort, with a .935 save percentage and an 8-4-3 record, 1.79 goals against, and 2 shutouts for Nowicki, who's gotten the lion's share of the playing time. Still a question for Peters Township, who starts in goal tonight, and we'll get an idea in just a second. In fact, it appears it'll be Nolan Hilbert once again, who got the win against Upper St. Clair last time out. Hilbert, the junior, with a record of 3-2, an .843 save percentage, and a 3.56 goals against average to go with 1 shutout. So the numbers on the offensive side aren't so gaudy for Baldwin as they are for Peters Township, but still some players to watch out for. Senior, number 25, Dom Trimber, has 16 points and a team-best 10 assists on the year. And the defenseman Trevor Belak, also a senior, has a team-high tying 7 goals from the blue line, including 6 on the power play. Baldwin clicking at an 18% rate on the PP. We're just about set to face it off. No national anthem tonight. We're a little bit behind schedule here at Printscape Arena, so we are on the verge of being off and running. Todd Kazarowski and crew are on site, and I thank them for keeping me connected here in the great state of Michigan, calling the game once again from suburban Grand Rapids. This is my 7th season on the call for Peters Township. My pleasure to bring it to you once again as the puck is dropped and we're playing hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Thanks again for joining us on Berg Hockey Live. O'Malley gets a quick shot away and an early save for Nowicki, and he holds on just a few seconds into this one. Good chance for Malley, who I mentioned is hot. 3 points last time out against Upper St. Clair. You might say, hey, who didn't score against Upper St. Clair with the 10 goals on the board? But all at even strength, so you earned all those points for sure. Not that you don't on the power play, but you know what I mean. You got to grind for him during 5-on-5. Out to the point, Ryan McKenna had an assist last week. McKenna will jam it down the boards looking for Malley. The battle on there behind the Baldwin net. Baldwin Highlanders in the black and the purple. And the white helmets on the road. Different look here. The black jerseys. Distinctive look for sure. First time seeing them ever for me. I know that much. A wrister is blocked high in the zone by Dom Trimber, the leading scorer for Baldwin. It's deflected over to this near wing corner. Tossed in deep. Highlanders fed it on back to the point. Reed will wrist one through traffic, and that's deflected wide. I think maybe Hilbert got a piece of it. Just a minute or so into this one, no score. Peters Township averaging over 6 goals per game at home this season. And a sharp angle try for Baldwin. And again, a save by Hilbert. That one was definitely on target, and he had to kick it away. PT this year has scored 9 a couple of times at home, including a 9-0 win against Cathedral Prep before the holiday break. 10-3 last time out. They also have a 9-3 win against Seneca Valley, traditionally a tough team to score against. Carson Alexander behind the net. Here's the sophomore Ben Kovac. He'll put it in front of the goal. Backhand chance for Martin. And that one's held on to by Nowicki. He gets the whistle. 15:29 to go in the first. I transposed the 2 players in my pregame intro. I apologize for that. It's actually William Tomko who leads Peters Township in points with 28, including 15 goals, tied for the top spot in all of Class AAA. Tomko, the freshman, has a couple of hat tricks, 2 goals and 2 assists last week against Upper St. Clair. Peters Township has to rev it up from the neutral zone now. Cooper Slavin, in fact, is just one back of Tomko for that top spot in AAA goal scoring. So typically, Peters Township doesn't have the top guy when it comes to getting points, but right now the top goal getter, at least at the moment. Logan Kramer tries to drive it toward the net. That's off his stick. Pardon me, that was Joey Stanek, number 1 for Baldwin. You don't often see a 1 on a skater, but we do have that this evening for the visitors. Masucci trying to get this pass as it bounces through. Kovac looking to take this at the circle. Dumps it below the goal line. Handled there by Tomko. He's got Martin in front, but the dish was broken up. Tomko continues to battle, though. He finds Martin again at the right circle. Martin scanning his options and put it in behind the net again. This is Martin on the handoff to Tomko. Dispossessed by the Highlanders. Puck up for grabs. Comes free. Martin shooting, and a pad save by Nowicki. It's tossed up in the air and over the head of the leaping Peters Township defender. That was Richard Woods back in action after suspension. This is ninth game for the junior. Baldwin goes to work in the offensive zone. Carson Alexander, senior defender, hacking at it below the goal line, trying to free it up. Instead, it comes over to this near wing. Luke Cassiola, senior power forward, couldn't hoist it out of the zone. That's picked up on the move by Nelson Buys, but he handed it away to Peters Township. And the Tribe will go on the dump and chase game. Max Kness, who scored in that weekend tournament, that showcase out at Notre Dame, which was on PetersHockey.tv. You can find all those games there, courtesy of Todd Kazarowski. So, well, when we say home and road, we mean it. Here, you can talk about a couple of states away, and you still can find your Peters Township highlights. Colin Cooch, senior forward, looking for his first goal in the season. He skates off for a line change as Baldwin tries to make something happen. Centering pass broken up and intercepted. Here's a headman delivery just out of the reach of Luke Cassiola, and Peters Township regroups. Back in Indians real estate. From behind the net, look out, dangerous play, a turnover, and a backhand pass toward the slot by Kramer is broken up. Now picked up by Dean Reed, junior defender. Shoots it near side corner. Here's Trimber, trying to get a stick on it. Dished it out to the point. Now passing behind the net, and Peters Township on it first. PT in the home white jerseys, this puck out of play, and we get a stoppage with 12:35 to go in the first period. Peters Township with a record of 11-4-1, 8-1 at Printscape Arena. Their lone loss to Pine Richland on the 7th of December. Even in that game, they scored 4 goals. They now have 58 goals in 9 home games. So actually, it's more than 6 a game, come to think of it. Getting close to 7. Just outrageous numbers at home this year for Peters Township. On the road, they've basically split it down the middle, but at home, nearly perfect, honestly. As perfect as you can get without being undefeated. And when it comes to scoring, as dangerous as a team as you'll find in the PIHL this year. And I'm sure nationally they stack up as well. High-rising shot from Logan Kramer. That's shouldered away by Hilbert of Peters Township. Held in at the line by the Highlanders, but given right back to Peters Township. Trying to drive around to the outside, Logan Stauffer left it there inadvertently. A shot toward the net was blocked. A chance in front for Caleb Kovac. He couldn't get the puck on line. Now Woods back out at center. Scoops it up ahead into the offensive zone. That's away from Masucci. He goes off for a change, as do his line mates. Alexander's back out there, manning the front of the net for Peters Township. Meanwhile, Woods hacking at it and winning the puck behind the net. Relay up through to center. Cutting in Ryder Mertens, 2 goals last week. He's got 20 points on the year now, more than a point per game player. In his 3rd varsity season, turnover, and here's Austin Malley of Peters Township. Malley to Mertens, to the outside on the left circle, in front of the net. Tried to find Cooper Slavin, but it's under his stick. Maybe had his stick lifted at the last possible moment. Under 11 minutes to go in the first period. 0-0 your score. Peters Township and Baldwin, second matchup of the season. I should mention Baldwin won 4-2 at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon on, back in early November. So it's been a while since these two teams met. November the 4th, in fact. So first week of November. Stanek and Belak scored in the 3rd to break a 2-2 tie. To get that win for Baldwin. Offside Peters Township as a Highlander spins out at center ice on his backside. That's Carson Kress. And this might actually be a penalty, come to think of it. As you look back at this replay, Mertens entering the offensive zone. Now it must have just been offside. Cross-ring dish. Here's a 60-footer, or pardon me, a 50-footer from Trimber. Not quite that long. I think 60's out in the neutral zone. But Trimber, nonetheless, couldn't get that by Hilbert from above the top edge of the left circle by a good distance. There you see the confidence, though, of the top point getter for Baldwin. Baldwin last time out, it's been a while, in fact. They haven't played in about 12 days, in fact. Last time they were on the ice was against Upper St. Clair. So both these teams played Upper St. Clair last. PT winning 10-3 here. Baldwin prevailing 2-1 in overtime. That game at the Ice Castle. This one's gloved out of the air by Nowicki. As I mentioned, Tanner Plinta, the sophomore, scored the game winner. Or actually, he scored in the third period to tie the game, his 7th of the year, tying in for the team lead. Then Trevor Belak got the winner, also his 7th of the season. And Nowicki made 35 saves in a game that looked pretty even in terms of shots on goal, 35 apiece. Kovac tries to sneak one in there off the face-off win, but he's denied by Nowicki. Baldwin has not won consecutive games since November. So they've kind of, tiptoed their way, not to the top of the standings, but into a top 5 position right now, tied for 4th at the moment with 19 points and a record of 8-5-3. Out to the line, Woods will shoot, and that's redirected into the corner. Ben Kovac holds and feeds out to the point. Long shot, and Nowicki kicked that one away too. Athletic goaltender, you can tell why he's got a sterling save percentage on the year, approaching .940. He is, well, hard to say technically sound when I've just seen a couple of saves, but I love the mobility in the crease. That's something that stands out at this level for sure. Cleared by the Highlanders with 8:44 and ticking to go in the first period. Tomko handed it away in Highlanders territory. Now bang right back into the Baldwin end. PT on the chase. Kness has the puck. Kness shot. And that never got through. It was blocked in the slot. And scooped up. The Highlanders skate back to center ice. 2 men strong. This will be wristed by Joey Stanek off a body into the corner on the near side. From the Peters Township end, they cleared up the far wing and right back into the clutches of Baldwin and the Highlanders. Logan Pitchy chipping into the offensive zone. In deep, Colin Cooch as well for Baldwin, but taken away by Kness. Kness got out to center briefly and then gunned right back in by Baldwin. So the Highlanders staying persistent and so far played a pretty strong, solid road period. They haven't given Peters Township too many chances. In fact, none of the grade A variety from my eye. This is Caden Kazarowski. Pitchforks this puck to the far side. Kazarowski on defense again. He played there. Well, he was on defense last week. Maybe up on the attack now. I spoke too soon. As Woods is back in the lineup, that's part of the reason why Kazarowski was thrown into duty on the blue line. So it could be back to normal for Big 47. Cassiola couldn't clear on his backhand side. It'll be shot toward the net, and oh boy, a dangerous deflection on the drive from Lorenzo Shipley. I didn't see who got a stick on it, but Hilbert, I think, deflected it into the corner, and Peters Township able to clear with 7 minutes to go in the first period. Trimber guided it around, and he got it right back in the center of the ice. Dom Trimber skating into the corner. Banging bodies there. Knocks over an Indian. That's Kazarowski. Puck up for grabs. Kazarowski couldn't handle it. Here's a sharp angle chance, and Trimber gets the rebound and scores. Kress got the shot away, and that's Dom Trimber on the doorstep, knuckling it by Nolan Hilbert from close range with 6:44 to go in the first period. Baldwin strikes first. Serving notice to Peters Township that it's not going to be an easy kind of night. Wow, what a goal that was, in fact. Dom Trimber, his 7th of the year, tying in with Trevor Belak and Tanner Plinta for the team lead. Knocked it out of midair, I believe. So you got to tip your stick to that one, tap your stick to that one, tip your helmet, and move on if you're Peters Township. Get back to work. On the puck pursuit, Xander All behind his net, but he ended up giving it away to PT. Woods shot it intentionally wide, trying to bank it off the outside of the net. Was Tomko. Or pardon, that's Masucci. Filtered it in deep again. Woods one more try. He's getting a lot of pucks toward the front, but that one was blocked en route. Woods ran into a man at his own blue line after he made the play, getting on to Caleb Kovac. Kovac on the relay. Masucci's in front of that. Here's a wraparound chance. And turned away on the Andrew Alexander opportunity. A big blast from Woods, again from the right point. But again, this one sails wide to the left. Baldwin up 1-0, and this is going to be a penalty against Woods, and Peters Township putting the Highlanders on the power play, already ahead by a goal. Trimber scored on the rebound of Carson Kress's chance. And now Coach Justin Glock of Baldwin can put the big guns back over the boards. Baldwin's power play clicking at an 18% rate, 9 for 51. Trevor Belak at the point. He's that right-handed shooter at the center of the ice that you see in front of you on your device. Look out for him. 6 of his 7 goals shorthanded. But here come, on the power play, but here come the Peters Township Indians shorthanded. And a chance and a blocker save on Ryder Mertenson's opportunity for Eddie Nowicki. Nowicki looks sharp to start. Peters Township on the penalty kill. They rank 10th out of 11 teams, 77%, but they've scored 5 shorthanded goals. That's got to count for something. They've allowed 10 goals on 43 chances. But like I said, 5 shorties, so they're only -5 on the season, shorthanded. And cleared here off the side wall by PT. 40 seconds gone on this power play. Here's the goal scorer, Trimber, handing it back to Belak. A couple of old NHL defenseman names on this Baldwin team. Belak and also Meseros on the roster. You might remember Andre Meseros from the Ottawa Senators, among other teams. Anyway, to the front of the net, and Ben Kramer couldn't get to the rebound. It's done down the ice again, 200 feet by Peters Township. 4:51 to go in the first period. 1 minute left on the power play with Richard Woods off for tripping. Baldwin trying to connect through to center ice, and they do. Nice move to the outside, and a sharp angle shot. Trying to go short side was Belak, and the defenseman was denied. Best save so far of the night for Hilbert. Belak trying to drag bodies and the puck to the front, but it's stripped away from him and dumped down the ice. Trevor Belak, a strapping, towering defenseman, and a lot of offensive skill with 12 points in 15 games. We're seeing it here on this power play. Going cross-rink, Nick Buys. All the way over, and again, Baldwin has a clean entry. Xander all pulls up. Back to the point. Shipley fed it and gave it away. Picked off. And now a lead pass looking for William Tomko. It's going to be on Nowicki to clear it away from him, and it's deflected out of play off the ice sheet with 7 seconds left on the power play. So Tomko forces the misplay, and Peters Township should have an offensive zone faceoff here, and it looks like the power play is all but over for Baldwin. 3:59 to go in the first. If you joined us late, Dom Trimber has scored his 7th of the season to put Baldwin on top. Here in South Point, PA, Prince Scape Arena is the site. Formerly known as the Isoplex, a longtime fortress on the Pittsburgh hockey scene, just off of Interstate 79. If you're driven down this way toward Washington, PA, you've undoubtedly seen it on the right side of the road if you're coming from town. Power play over. Peters Township has killed it off, and it's their first penalty kill situation in a couple of weeks, as they didn't have any to face last week. There were no penalties in that 10-3 win against Upper St. Clair. Bears repeating, especially considering it was a blowout, how many goals were on the board, and just teams tend to get undisciplined when it's a wide margin, and just never happened last week. And the game never really got out of control emotionally. Credit to both teams, credit to the officials. Camden Martin tries to backhand this to safety. He'll get a second chance on the forehand and force it to the red line. Now PT trying to get back on the attack. Down a goal here at home. Unfamiliar spot. Centering pass on the opportunity for Kimberling, but he couldn't get it to the front. Kovac reaches in. Actually, that was Kimberling creeping up from his defense spot. I was going to say 89. That's not like him to be that deep in the O-zone, but there he was, and now he's back below his own goal line. He's a 200-foot type player, but this is icing against Baldwin. Peters Township coached by Rick Tingle, Chris Claxton, Cliff Bumford, his assistants on the bench. Peters Township on the year has outscored its opponents in the first period 33-13. That's the best margin in AAA, but Baldwin's turned the tables on him so far. Give credit to the Highlanders, like I said, looking for consecutive wins for the first time in a couple of months. To this near side, Masucci shoots as the puck just bounced right to him at the bottom edge of the right circle, and Nowicki melted it down. Save and no rebound, 2:36 to go before the break. Maxwell Kness, the senior, to take this face-off. I've seen his profile, along with many others, on Peters Hockey's social media over the course of the past couple of weeks. It's that time of the year, time to honor the seniors, which will be done on Sunday. Unfortunately, for the first time in several years, I won't be able to be there in the flesh, so I'll just be watching like the rest of you if you're unable to make it. Wristed deep by Xander, all on a weird bounce off the end boards, off the corner, and it heads right in on net. So Hilbert has to hold on to it, and with Highlanders in his crease and in his way, he kept the puck. Kyle Thomas has gotten the majority of the starts this year for Peters Township. The sophomore has a record of 9-2-1 and an .882 save percentage in net for Rick Tingle, but Nolan Hilbert now with back-to-back starts. Excuse me, as a wrister from Shipley was deflected on the way, and Hilbert had to hold that one. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this period. And if you hear me coughing a little bit tonight, I'm getting over a bout with the flu. It started just after the game last week. Went to bed with a sore throat, thought it was because of the broadcast. Instead, nope, just getting whatever's going around in our household with a couple of little boys. So, can be a petri dish, as those of you with kids well know. In the corner, Malley handed it on back. In the middle is Slavin, but Malley and his line mates can't quite get it to the front here. So here's Baldwin. Malley hunting that puck, forcing quick passes, and bounced out to the line, held in there briefly by Malley, and he did keep it. Now comes the reinforcements, but Peters Township cannot keep it in the offensive zone to make anything happen there. But Malley, a big-time hustle play out by the blue line to reel that one in like a fisherman. Here is McKenna giving up far side boards. Ryder Mertens on it now with 1:16 to go in the first period. Just the one penalty, just the one goal. The penalty to Peters Township, the goal to Baldwin, but the goal was at even strength. Behind the net, bouncing there. Nowicki with a wary eye looks over his shoulder as the Indians go on the forecheck once more. Trimber couldn't pluck it off the wall. Now it's behind the net again. Malley with Slavin in front of the goal, setting up shot. Now Slavin joins in with puck support to help out, but cleared up the far side kick plate and ushered out to safety by Baldwin, and another penalty against Peters Township. Another penalty against the Tribe that'll send them shorthanded. 46 seconds left in the first period. And Peters Township on its back skate at the moment. Baldwin giving them a stern test. And not like Peters Township hasn't been challenged at home this year, but I think they've more often than not had a lead after the first period in their home games as they've compiled that 8-1 record at Princegate. From behind the net, Highlanders try to pin the puck there. It's out to the blue line, and it did come out into the neutral zone. That's offside, says the referee on the near wing, as he skates over and demonstrably points to the spot where the puck ended up, just outside the blue line. 37 seconds remaining. On the draw, Tomko leans in, and the freshman William Tomko, the freshman scoring sensation, drew it back into the D zone, but here's Belak pinching up to keep it alive. He wanted to dump it behind Woods and did. Right to himself, Belak forces the pass out to this near wing side. Here's to the backside, and a shot, save, rebound, score. They're saying the first one went in on the backdoor play, and Baldwin has a 2-0 lead on the power play goal with 19 seconds to go in the period. Carson Kress got out here at this near side point, and what a nice look to the backside. Set play, it looked like, for Baldwin, as the shot went in and out so quickly that it was deceiving. So you couldn't quite tell, but the Highlanders have a 2-goal lead. Hilbert couldn't get over in time. The shot was sharp off that center bar that supports the roof of the net, if you will. That's why it came out so fast. If it hits that, it can definitely bang in and out quickly. So Peters Township's going to have to quickly regroup at the intermission if they can get it there, just down by 2. Now they're going to try to get one here before the end of the period. Tomko closing and firing. Nowicki with a key save with just 5 seconds before the buzzer. One last opportunity, center point. Here's a shot from Alexander, and Nowicki makes the save just after all zeros flash on the scoreboard. So some action in the final minute, but Baldwin gets the only goal in the final minute to make it a 2-0 game. This is Matt Geica. This is Berg Hockey Live. You're watching either on YouTube or PetersHockey.tv. We'll take a break, show you some highlights, and bring it on back for the second period. Keep it right here as Peters Township has some climbing to do tonight at home.
Okay, wait. How do I zoom on this? Just out of curiosity, just for like future references. Just that.
Right, so you can do it right here. The button.
Okay.
There's a button up here, and this is the one that's kind of a rocker, so you can kind of go back and forth.
Okay, cool.
And it's pressure sensitive, so the faster you hit it, the
Yeah.
faster it heats.
Alrighty, cool. Got it.
When you get settled in on a shot somewhere, if you want to try some of that, I've got the other shot cut too, so you can do that. I tend to not, and you'll see most of the time they won't do that with the ice shot because they're trying to keep consistency going back and forth. Actually, they have those big cameras. They got two handles, one zoom and one is.
Short intermission as always in the PIHL. I've been calling some games up here in Michigan this year, and takes some getting used to actually having a long break between the first and the second. Kind of prefer it the way we do it in Western PA, I'll say that much. At any rate, Peters Township attacking down to our left here, down 2-0. See what they were able to throw at Baldwin here in the second period. Dom Trimber had both goals. I wasn't quite sure who that was on the backside. The numbers aren't easily visible, and he was not facing, or he was facing the camera when he scored, so didn't see the numbers. But it was number 25. Dom Trimber has both goals in this game for Baldwin as he buried that feed from Carson Kress cross rink on the power play in the final minute to make it a 2-0 game. Trimber with 8 on the year to lead the squad. Delayed penalty coming up, and I think it's against Baldwin this time. So after last week going the entire game with no penalties, now we've gotten 3 in pretty quick succession. 2 against the Indians in the first period, and now 1 here against Baldwin in the second to start the period. Trimber, 2 goals. Carson Kress, 2 assists for Baldwin. Now Peters Township, though, gets a chance on the power play and puts its league-best 32% power play conversion rate on the ice. Malley handles here at the dot after the faceoff was controlled cleanly by Mertens. Mertens pulls up, fed it over below the goal line to Malley. Right back into Mertens' real estate. Mertens to Malley into the corner. Back out to Mertens. Comes a little more central. Now shoots. Save made by Nowicki. Rebound gathered in by Peters Township. Tied up there. There's Mertens ranging over to keep it alive and feed Alexander. Back to Mertens, right point. Closing, shooting, and that's blocked. Good job from Baldwin to get in the way of a couple of these shots so far on the power play. 1:16 to go on it. To the far wing, here's a wrister. That one didn't get through either, and it hops out to center ice. Carson Alexander flags it down. Baldwin's penalty kill, strong as well, 88%, third in the league. They've allowed just 5 goals on 42 opportunities this season. Alexander the dish. Near side against the grain finds Malley. Now the second minute of this power play. Filter to the corner. Mertens, they play catch again. Ryder Mertens looking this way and that. Centering pass and intercepted by Kress. And he'll have some room and some time to get the puck all the way down the ice and get off for a line change. Given away, Xander all for Baldwin. Looks for a man coming off the bench. Baldwin just a step quicker to some of these pucks right now. They appear to be sharper overall at the moment. And the 2-0 lead is to their credit. And well earned to this point. But here's Peters Township again. Slavin rounds the net. To Kimberling. Going cross rink. Here's a shot gobbled up by Nowicki. You saw it the whole way. 12 seconds left on the power play. After the shot by Alexander got through. Alexander and Kimberling, the 2-point men right now for Peters Township. Tomko, Ben Kovac, Camden Martin, the forwards. But right at the end of this PP, there you see our second camera in action tonight, giving you more of a close-up view of what's going on down there. Puck dropped, battle for it in the slot, and it squirts free over to this near corner. Tomko is waiting for it. The pass will come to him, but under some pressure. Got it through Belak. Now here's Kovac trying to gun it through the crease, and that was blocked down. Ben Kovac goes cross rink. Alexander wanted to tee it up. He's got a pretty good shot. Now he shoots off the back foot, and that's rejected. Penalty is over. Baldwin's killed it off. They're 1-for-1 on the PK. Alexander with a couple of goals on the season. Not on the power play, though, yet. Here's a backhand chance against Hilbert that's saved by Kress. Off Kress's chance, I should say. Creeping in Trimber. He's got 2 in this game. And one of the Highlanders has come up lame. Belak tried to shoot. That's off a leg. To the far wing, Kovac. He had Tomko making a break for the blue line, but couldn't find him on the potential opportunity on the counterattack. 13 and a half minutes to go in the second period. Baldwin leads at 2-0 at Peters Township. Surprise in the making so far, at least, in the PIHL. Lone game in Class AAA tonight. This is shot out of play off the Canadian flag hanging in front of the restaurant on the far side of the ice. Peters Township has won 5 in a row for the second time this season. 6 would be a season high, and 6 would put them within 2 points of North Allegheny for the top spot in Class AAA with 2 games to go, but, well, they've got some climbing to do, like I said, at the period break. In front of the nets and cleaned up by Peters Township. Andrew Alexander getting an opportunity here in this game. And McKenna leans in, put his head in there to flush it out of the zone. Strong effort by him, courageous as well. This is not going to be icing. It was deflected by a Highlander back in the neutral zone. So Nelson Baez has to find his way out of some trouble. And he ends up giving it away out by the point. Taken over by Peters Township. Shot from Caleb Kovac. That was blocked. Masucci here, handing it over to Andrew Alexander. Wanted to stuff it in, but Nowicki was sharp to pin that to the outside of the goal with his blocker hand and get a stoppage. This is, in fact, Nolan Hilbert. Speaking of the other side of the net, other side of the ice, other net, Nolan Hilbert has now made 3 straight starts for Peters Township. He was a 6-3 winner against North Allegheny coming off that 3-week break. 10-3 winner last week, even though we saw some of Kyle Thomas after Hilbert had some issues with his skate blade. And now in here again tonight. Kazarowski picks it off and shoots and scores! Caden Kazarowski, maybe that'll turn the tide. 2-1 on the unassisted goal. He picked it off and he sniped Nowicki to the glove side, it appeared. We'll take another look on the turnover. There's the toe drag. And bullseye. In fact, he went blocker side, near wing with that shot. Either way, a gorgeous wrister. And with 12:33 left in the second, Peters Township has the goal they were looking for, and they've got this crowd engaged as well. This is the final home game of the season, regular season, technically, even though they'll play here, obviously, against Ken and Mac, as the Big Macs also call this rink home. But Peters Township trying to go 9-1 in its designated home games this season. They're only down 1 now on the Kazarowski marker. His 4th of the season. Senior's got 9 points on the year in total. Did that all himself. Here's another turnover and a chance here. Slavin wanting to catch Nowicki off balance. He centers it. And the Peters Township can't get a shot away. Out by the blue line. Alexander put a knee down, but he couldn't keep it in. To this near side, it's Kress. Try to go back in front of the net, looking for Trimber. Who else? He's always lurking at the front of the goal. And this puck's tossed out of play by Malley of Peters Township. I think it was him. Sometimes you need someone to step up and make a play. And in this case, it was Kazarowski. What a beauty it was. The interception, the deke, and the shot, all A+ for that effort. Dumped off Baldwin Highlander's stick from in behind the net. Slavin wanted to give it to Malley. Comes back out to the point. Wrist shot. Deflected. Malley got a chance on a rebound. And Nowicki, prone on the ice, somehow smothers it. The shot came from Michael Bamet's Raider first at the blue line. And after that, it was chaos. So here's the tribe we know and love. on home ice especially. Now buzzing in the Baldwin end, and Baldwin trying to go for the season sweep against Peters Township. Referee Brian Batico drops the puck, and that was close to a penalty against Peters Township, but it's allowed to go by. Chalk that one up to a good break, and PT can play on with it, and they're below the goal line with it. Malley to the front of the net, looking for Mertens, but he couldn't turn it to his forehand to shoot. Instead, it's the Highlanders. Joey Stanek on the wrist in. That's tipped away by Hilbert. But again, the Highlanders on it, and Stanek shot it. Again, Hilbert holding his ground on the far post. To the point, Belak, heavy wrister. Mertens got in the way to block that down. Under 11 to go in the second period. Peters Township matching Baldwin with a goal in this, the only goal of this second period. Baldwin got their second goal before the end of the first. Both goals in the first for Baldwin by Trimber, and now one in the second period by Caden Kazarowski. In deep, jammed up the near side, and it trickles out to center ice. Peters Township's Kimberling tried to glove this one down. Instead, it's picked up by the Highlanders, and Kramer snapping a shot that missed everything. From behind the net, Matt O'Malley trying to center that pass, and that's intercepted and taken away. Peters Township on the move. Ben Kovac got a man in front, but the pass was away from his reach. It was Tomko, Kovac, and Martin again, the unit for Rick Tingle out here. Martin handed it away and pushed around the boards by Meseros. Kovac in deep, deflected. Tomko, score! No! Wave it off. They say no goal, but the puck is in the net. What's the explanation? Was it goaltender interference, perhaps? Or is the net off its pegs? The face-off is coming out at center. Peters Township thought they tied it. Instead, it's still 2-1 Baldwin. And they don't even get an offensive zone face-off out of it. Kovac in deep. Tomko shot it in. The net must have been off. No, now it is going to be an offensive zone face-off. So my initial perception of that was wrong. I think the net was just off its moorings. That's all it was. Unfortunate, because Tomko did well to kick it to his stick and hammer it home. Here's a look for Ben Kovac. Couldn't get it through. Now he gives behind the net to Camden Martin. To Tomko, trying to backhand, finesse one through traffic, but that didn't work. Getting close to 9 minutes to go in the second period. Peters Township down a goal. But again, fervently attacking to the center of the ice and under the stick of Martin. Off the pass from Tomko. Seems like William Tomko makes something happen every time he touches the puck, especially around the net. Nick Buys for Baldwin, though. Keeps the puck going north briefly for the Highlanders. Now turned over. Kovac trying to fish it out of the skates of a Highlander defender. Not to be. Trimber to the outside. Trimber ahead of steam, a backhand chance, and it goes just right through the crease. Bit of a yard sale at the net. Someone's equipment went flying. Didn't catch who as camera turns down to our left. Andrew Alexander bangs bodies with one of the Highlander defensemen. That's Shipley. Alexander handed it off to Kimberling at the point. Back in deep. Long shift for Ben Kovac, but he's still out there grinding. Behind the net. Now to the corner. Now coming out with it, but lost control. Shipley clears it off the glass, and it hit a partition and deflects strangely down into the far corner, and that's just far enough for icing against Baldwin with 8:01 to go in the second. Baldwin, if you're not familiar with their history, they are 4-time Penguins Cup champions. Once in Class AA, just last year, they beat Franklin Regional in the Penn's Cup final up at Cranberry at the Mew Complex. They've also won 3 AAA championships, have Baldwin. So I said their first trip ever into the Prinscape Arena, not true, but first time in a while in this era. Baldwin won their championships in Class AAA in 1975, the first PIHL season, and they were the first champion as there was only one class that year. And then in 82 and 83, or 88. Can't even read my own notes. Frozen at the side of the net. Anyway, they won twice in the 80s, did Baldwin, and then it took until 2021 for them to get back into the winner's circle in the PIHL. You could argue it's tougher to do at the lower levels because there are more teams in the lower levels. They try to keep AAA at 10 or 11 squads year in and year out. Caleb Kovac, pivoting against pressure, found Andrew Masucci, the senior. 3 assists on the year, but he turned it over on the far side. Belak chipped it out to center ice. Peters Township, 5-time Penguins Cup champions. Here's a chance off the rush, and Hilbert's got to be strong to stop Solinsky once and twice on his own rebound, and he held on to it, did Hilbert. Typically, Peters Township outshoots its opponents. Tonight so far, not so much, really. Just 11-10 on last accounting. You can find that live box score at PIHLhockey.com. And I missed PIHLhockey.com when I'm calling games up here in Michigan. They don't do a great enough job, despite it being a varsity sport, of keeping track of scores here. As a hand pass is called against Baldwin in the offensive zone. So I keep my own box score when I'm calling games live up here. I don't have to do that. Maybe it makes me a little bit lazy, but I do love the live updates in most rinks in the PIHL. So tap of the stick to all of you who run that website, who have set up this network of accountability for scores in that network of rinks across Western PA. It's a real feather in your cap, believe me. I don't take it for granted now. I used to. Kness spins and feeds deep and below the goal line. Another chance here. Kazarowski's got 1 goal in this period, but he couldn't get that one through a stick. Now to the front end again as the Peters Township continues to just funnel pucks into the high traffic area in front of the goal, but that time cleared out by the Highlanders. Whacked to center by Kness of Peters Township. Right back into the Indian zone, though. They'll have to rev it up once more. Down to 6:36 to go in the second period. We'll have an ice cut. The Zambonis will come out after time expires in this frame. Both teams will take an extended breather in their locker rooms. This is icing against Peters Township. Eddie Nowicki, Baldwin goalie, leads all regular goalies in AAA in minutes and save percentage. He's played all but 1 game for Baldwin so far with a record of 8-4-3 and that save percentage of .935. He's allowed just the 1 goal on 11 shots so far tonight, so right about usual for him. In fact, pretty close to exactly what he's put up on the season in terms of save rate, if you will. From the far wing, Levi McRae overskated for Baldwin. Bouncing puck up into the air. Peters Township trying to handle it. It's Malley leaning in, but lost control. Under 6 to play in the second. Still 2-1 Baldwin. They got 2 goals in the first period from Dom Trimber. And still leading here on the road. Lorenzo Shipley fired it around. But Malley read that beautifully for Peters Township. Malley tried to lift the stick of a Highlander. Didn't work. And Baldwin clears it to center ice. And now in deep. Alexander on the retrieval here. One nice move to get away from a man, but he handed it away at the blue line. Fired in on net. Hilbert has to blocker that one to the corner. Big battle for the puck, 3-on-2 in favor of Peters Township, as McKenna looks like he's about ready to pull it free, but he can't. Now Martin's cleaned out with a strong check. Here's a shot from the slot that's off the blocker of Hilbert. Levi McRae got it there. Off a Baldwin stick, high into the atmosphere, and it lands in the neutral zone. Carried in by Camden Martin. Belak tries to backhand it past Slavin and does. To the far side, Stanek. Standing up and firing across the ice to this near side. And driven in by Kress. Kress here on this near wing. Has it again. He's got 2 assists tonight. Tries for a goal this time from a sharp angle. And that's blocked away by Hilbert. But again, Baldwin keeps it up. And a chance at front score. It hopped right to the front of the net and hammered home. I think that's Colin Cooch on the doorstep. Number 5 in black. If it is, that's his first goal of the season. And it is Cooch. Just waiting there, and he outpositioned the Peters Township defender as that pass got through a couple of bodies. In fact, it deflected off the stick of Tomko between the legs of Alexander and right on a silver platter for Colin Cooch to score an even strength goal to make it 3-1 Baldwin with 4:33 left in the second. And that feels like a massive goal right now. Cooch's third point and his first goal of his senior year. He's waited a while for that one. And it comes at a key juncture of an important game for Baldwin. Fighting for home ice advantage in the first round of the Penguins Cup playoffs. It goes to the top 4 teams, and they're tied for 4th right now, are the Highlanders. Dumped right back in by Baldwin, so Peters Township back in its original position entering this period, down by a deuce. 4 minutes left to go, but here's a counterattack chance. Nowicki kicks that away off the shot from Tomko. Here are the Highlanders again, and Crest to the outside. And Hilbert stick that away hard to the sideboards to get it out. Tomko corrals, centers, and right past the on-charging Ryder Mertens at the doorstep. Peters Township trying to complete a change. Meanwhile, Baldwin presses the issue. On the backhand. Here's a attempted play out to the point that's broken up. Now reaching back to keep this alive. Xander took the shot. Saved by Hilbert. All's in front of the net now, looking for his own rebound. He stumbled down. Actually, that was Nick Byes who took the initial shot. All had the rebound. Here's a counterattack chance. Alexander going to the net. That's Andrew Alexander, but Ben Kovac's pass was blocked. We go end to end. Ripped into the Peters Township zone. From behind the net, All couldn't keep it alive for Baldwin. 3 minutes to go in the frame. Just like the first period, it's picking up in the second. Late. A bouncing play ahead by Shipley. Or that's All, rather, for Baldwin. But again, Peters Township breaks it up, and it's Trevor Belak back to take for the Highlanders. To the corner in Shipley. He's got Belak, so he feeds it to him. Bit of a trouble spot here. Ben Kramer tries to help out for Baldwin, but Peters Township has it. Caleb Kovac centering, backhand chance. Nowicki has it between the pads, and he cradles it with the glove. 2:32 left before intermission. One goal apiece in this second period. Kazarowski for Peters Township. And answering back, Colin Cooch for Baldwin, his first of the season, just a couple of minutes ago. So the Highlanders in the catbird seat right now. Alexander, that's Carson Alexander, firing it up to the point, but no further. So Peters Township has to try this near side. McKenna fanned on the attempted clearance. This is Kramer behind the back pass. The battle's on for it. At the point, Shipley shot, and Hilbert had to be sharp to kick it away. Shipley, again playing it, this time on a pass. Finding Cooch, the goal scorer most recently for Baldwin. But his backhander is picked off by Peters Township and sent down the rink. That'll go for an icing. Unfortunately, 1:45 left in the second. So PT hasn't been in a trouble spot like this at home in a while. I'll have to check back some box scores to see in those close games if they ever trail by 2 after 2 periods. I kind of doubt it, but that Pine Ridgeland game was an outlier for sure, even though Peters Township only lost by 1. I know that the Rams had their run of things for a while in that game. Cassiola stretching out to try to keep this puck alive, and it's deflected into the Peters Township bench. So we'll face it off in the O-zone here for the Indians. 95 seconds before the break. Baldwin wearing the Old English B on its chest on the traveling jersey. Max Kness for Peters Township wearing white with red pants, red helmets, black and white trim as always, or as usual at home. Kazarowski couldn't flag down this aerial clearance, and again, here are the Highlanders, and a wrist shot from the slot, patted out on the try from Solinsky. Right between the circles, prime chance there to make it 4-1, but Hilbert better than the opportunity. And now he holds this puck shot in from the neutral zone. He didn't really have much of an option as he had his stick on the ice. He dropped it, in fact, and there was a Highlander in the vicinity. Well, wait, this might be an offside play, come to think of it, as they're pulling the faceoff out of the zone. Is it intentional offside? It's going into the offensive zone for Peters Township. Can something come of this, perhaps? Tomko goes forward off the draw. Trying to create some chaos behind the net. It's a 2-on-2 scrum. Down to 1 minute to go in the second period. Mertens reaching for it. Unable to pull it free, though. Baldwin just gumming up the works at the moment. Slavin chasing after it, but Trimble makes a nice little pass there. And out with it comes Baldwin's Cress. High shot, snagged, and held by Hilbert. Three-quarters of a minute to go. Pace slowing late in this second period. We didn't get started until about 7:15, so keep that in mind as well. If you're wondering, are they a little behind schedule? Sometimes it happens. Hey, these rinks are busy places, this time of year especially. Everyone's in action from the mini-mites on up. McKenna cleared it for PT, but can the Tribe corral and create? Deflected pass. Filters over to this near side, and McKenna will send it in deep. Beyond the reach of Malley, but it's in behind the net. Shipley handed it over to Mertens of Peters Township. Finds Malley, try to get the puck to his forehand. Now he got it back to the point, and a slap shot from Alexander. I don't think that got through. In front of the net again, 14 seconds to go in the period, and it hops out into the neutral zone. Down to 10 seconds. Carson Alexander revs it up once more. A hulking defenseman lost control of the puck, and it's tossed out by Baldwin. Down the ice, but not far enough to get the icing whistle, and that's how the second period comes to an end. So Baldwin led 2-0 after one, now 3-1 after two, and the Highlanders are 17 minutes away from doing what only one other team has been able to do this year in Pine Richland, and that's beating Peters Township at home. And so far, they've kept PT to just a one goal through two periods, with the Indians averaging more than 6 per game at home this year. So a big outlier game so far, but it's not over yet. We'll be back for more. PetersHockey.tv is the place to find all your games live and archived, and we're also simulcasting on Berg Hockey Live on the Pittsburgh Hockey Digest YouTube page. This is Matt Geico on the call. Todd Kazarowski and crew on site. We shall return after the break for the conclusion of this one. Stay with us. And we're back at Princescape Arena as Baldwin, the fourth place team in Class AAA, tied for fourth, has a 3-1 lead over the second seed, Peters Township, or they would be the second seed if the playoffs started today. We're just 3 games away from the postseason for both of these squads, and, well, it's we're getting down to it. And both teams are probably going to make the playoffs. Peters Township almost assuredly is going to make the playoffs. But they are on the verge, or at least in position to lose for just the second time this season on home ice. And as promised, I looked back at some box scores for home games, at least this year. Peters Township has trailed just one time this season going into the third period, and as expected, it was in that 5-4 loss to Pine Richland. The only loss, the only pockmark on their otherwise pristine home schedule so far. That was back on December the 7th, and Peters Township trailed 3-2. After 2 periods before Pine Richland scored a couple quickly to seemingly put it away, but then Peters Township got too late, including at least one with the extra attacker, from what I recall, just offhand, to make that one very interesting. In this one, Baldwin has the 3-1 lead and an 18-14 shot advantage, too. Pretty rare stuff. 2 goals for Dom Trimber in the first period, both assisted by Carson Kress. Trevor Belak had an assist as well on the power play goal for Trimber. Caden Kazarowski answered back 4.5 minutes into the second period to make it 2-1 on an unassisted interception goal with a beautiful toe drag in between. And now with the puck dropped, Baldwin controls, and Colin Cooch had the re-establishment of the 2-goal lead for Baldwin late in that second period, putting in a bouncing pass that got between a couple of Peters Township defenders at the back door. Here's Kazarowski now. Try to put a pass in front here on his drive wide, but that was defended well by Baldwin in front of the net. And there's that man again, Eddie Nowicki, playing like his season-long numbers indicate he would tonight. He's got that puck again as players come together in front of the goal 31 seconds into the frame. Baldwin looking a lot like the old LA Kings. When I say old, I don't mean really old. I mean 2000s, first decade of this century. Well, at least back then they had some color in their jerseys. Right now, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they had purple at one point. It was purple and black. Not sure it was the best look ever, but that's what Baldwin is emulating with these jerseys, at least the road jerseys, with the Old English B on the front. The Highlanders looking for their 9th win in their return to Class AAA after getting the Battlefield promotion last year, winning the Penguins Cup and accumulating enough points over the previous couple of seasons per the PIHL's promotion relegation formula to make the step up to the top league. Kazarowski in the middle trying to dig the puck out of his skates on the centering pass, but he couldn't do it. Now back, here's Slavin, backhand chance. Nowicki kicked it away, and the Highlanders clear. This goes for an icing on the fresh sheet. Nowicki hasn't been tested a ton, but PT's come at him with a couple of bursts. Second period better than the first in that regard. Just left on the schedule for Peters Township, a trip up to Cathedral Prep, one of the couple of teams out of the playoff chase right now in AAA. And then they'll play Cannon Mackwell PT, another team near the bottom of the division. Here's a turnover and a chance for Kovac, and that shot I think was stopped in front. It was hard to tell. And a follow-up opportunity by McKenna. That didn't get through either. So Baldwin's done a fine job as well preventing pucks from getting through their goaltender. So that 14-shot total through 2 periods isn't all about PT not generating enough on the attack. It's also been about Baldwin getting in the way. And this is offside against Peters Township. Yes, those standings, Peters Township with 25 points, second place in the division, 4 points behind North Allegheny. Baldwin is tied with Mount Lebo for 5th. And top 4 teams get the home ice advantage. No, not quite, not in this sport. The home ice advantage in the first round of the Penguins Cup playoffs. Baldwin was 4th going into last night, but I misspoke. They're now into 5th. As we had some results come in. Carson Alexander faked the shot. He was fended off. Baldwin defending 5-on-5, looking a little bit like the penalty kill right now, just keeping Peters Township to the outside. Kovac, a one-timer on the sweep shot, but he couldn't get it on target. It hit the outside of the goal. Kovac hounding one of the Highlanders, but it bounces back down into the PT end. Scooped up on the move here by Stanek. Joey Stanek to the front of the goal, but the pass was away from Xander All at the back post. Stanek tried to kick it to his stick. Back to Xander All again. Off the stick of a Baldwin Highlander and right to Peters Township again. Headman pass. The shot goes off a body. This is Malley. Wanted to pull it to the middle. Couldn't do so. Woods to Malley. Deflected. Save Nowicki. And the rebound available. Scooped up by Kovac to the front of the net. Malley got a hack away. Couldn't get it on goal. Woods puts it on frame. And that save made. No rebound by Nowicki. Baldwin tied with Mount Lebo for 5th place. Seneca Valley stepped in front of the two with a win last night, I should mention. Seneca Valley has 21 points. So right now the top 4, North Allegheny, Peters Township, Pine Richland, and Seneca Valley. Pretty typical stuff the last couple of years, in fact. It's funny how it all shakes out at the end. And the teams you were expecting to be at the top are going to be pretty close to the top. But then you have Mount Lebo trying to get back in the playoffs after their run to the Penguins Cup final last year before falling to North Allegheny. They're right there with Baldwin. Here's a shot from the outside by Reed that's gobbled up by Hilbert. And Nolan Hilbert wants to hold on, and he will. Bethel Park in 7th place at 17 points, and then Central Catholic looking to rebound and at least get back into postseason play for the first time in a couple of years. They're at 16 points in 8th. That's the final playoff spot right now. Another chance and another save by Hilbert off the faceoff win here. Upper St. Clair, the closest contender to getting into the playoff chase, but they're 5 back of 8th place Central Catholic. Then there's Ken and Mack at 7 points, just 3 wins on the year, and Cathedral Prep 6 points, just a couple of victories and a couple of overtime losses for the Ramblers. Difficult year for them, to say the least. Been a great year for Peters Township, but not a great night tonight so far. They're at 11-4-1 on the season, 8-1 at home. But they're in a real battle, down 2, entering the 3rd for the first time all season at home. We'll see how they will respond. It's been a pretty strong start to the period. A couple of chances against Nowicki, but nothing in the back of the net yet. So hard to play a perfect home schedule, obviously, as we saw in the game against Pine Richland, but PT's been living on the edge in a couple of these home games. They haven't all been blowouts. Alexander's shot redirected on the way, and that missed into the left corner as a result. Trying to kick that ahead, McKenna. Instead, it's Masucci following on for PT. Taken away by McKenna. He shovels it ahead. Behind the goal, Dean Reed for Baldwin. Looking and nearly connecting with that headman pass, but it went under the stick of a forward and icing against the Highlanders. The Penguins are also back on the ice after the All-Star break. They're in a 2-2 tie against Boston up in Beantown. Danton Heinen has scored 2 goals in the second period. David Pasternak put the Bruins on the board in the first, in case you're curious, or you have him on your fantasy team. Face-off win for PT and Kovac. McKenna puts it into the mix. Martin stumbled down, lost control of the puck. Baldwin bounces it out to center. Up the far wing, and a chance for Stanek. It's deflected away and out of play into the screen. That was Carson Kress, actually. Top line out there for Baldwin right now, top scoring line. Dom Trimber, Carson Kress, and Nick Buys. Buys leans in and swipes at it and somehow ends up with that face-off win at the sideboard. Sometimes it just bounces your way, even if you don't get a good piece of the puck at the dot. Masucci shoveling ahead. Here's Caleb Kovac. Oh, he had a man in Martin, but the pass was a little bit ahead of him. He has to chase down in the corner, does Martin. Wanted to go back to Caleb Kovac, but that's intercepted by Baldwin. Under 12 to go in the 3rd period. Still 3-1 Highlanders here at the home of Peters Township. Twisting and shooting in was Trimber. Batting it away from the front of his net, Hilbert. Can Peters Township break it out cleanly? They'll have to try on the far side. And it's McKenna lofting to Carson Alexander. Look out, a player coming right into his kitchen, but he made a move at the last second to get away from him. And dump it cross corner as he gained the blue line. But hacked right past the Peters Township forechecker. Bouncing in just outside of the line. Now pulled back into the Baldwin zone. Kazarowski sent in the direction of the goal, but headed off the pass. Baldwin's playing a period right now they don't mind playing, which is a little back and forth, but not much in the high-scoring areas. Into the front of the net, or tried to make a pass there, was Solinsky, but that was picked off. He's been pretty dangerous in this game as Ryan Solinsky. And it caroms off the sideboards and right in on Nowicki, who has to hold on to this with a couple of Indians in his face. 10:46 left in regulation. You don't often see it. Peters Township held at arm's length on the attack. It just really hasn't happened much this season, let alone at home, where their lowest scoring game was a 3-1 win against Bethel Park in their home opener in mid-October. It has been a while. Richard Woods has his man. That's Kazarowski, the only goal scorer in this game for Peters Township. Haven't seen Tomko or Kovac get on the board yet. But here's Mertens, one of those usual suspects, and always nifty to pull this puck away from pressure. Ryder Mertens goes cross rink. Here's a chance for a shot from Slavin. Glove down by Nowicki and nothing further. Both teams make line changes. Justin Glock has his Highlanders in a position to do something impressive tonight. Peters Township has not been held to one goal on the season since the opener, an 8-1 loss to Pine Richland. Yeah, it started ugly for PT, believe it or not. Really ugly this year. Since then, at least 2 in every game. But you know what? Baldwin was one of the teams that held them to 2, and that was at the Ice Castle in November. And a 4-2 Highlanders victory. So what's Baldwin know about PT the other teams don't? Belak handed it off. Shipley shot, and Hilbert has to come up big atop his crease, and he does. Shots are 20-20 in this game. Make it 21-20 after that shot on net in favor of Baldwin. Forget about beating Peters Township. Just outshooting Peters Township can be challenging over the years. That's been their MO under Rick Tingle lately. Great 5-on-5 team, and a team that will out-volume you in terms of shot attempts and shots on target. Malley couldn't make any headways there against the Baldwin defense. Peters Township's got to try again. Instead, it's Baldwin and the Highlanders. Kress couldn't get into the offensive zone with it, but now it's Trimber shooting from the far side, or pardon, that's Buys. That was blocked down, and a save by Hilbert and a crucial one. Here's a 3-on-2 rush if Peters Township can get it going. Rister from the slot, glove by Nowicki. Nowicki's just seeing it great right now. Austin Malley denied his 6th goal of the year and his 2nd in as many games on that rush. He was eyeing that top right corner, pardon me. But the left-handed catching Nowicki had it measured all the way. He looks very calm making these saves, too. I mentioned I liked his athleticism at the start of this game, and it's been evident throughout. Very smooth goaltender. Icing here against Baldwin. Now, you can't win the race. You can't touch it up in this league. Other times, PT's been held to 2. Have been on the road at Bethel Park, a 4-2 loss November the 18th, November the 29th, a 3-2 loss to Mount Lebo, and that's it. All the other games at 3 or more. Just 3 times this season they've been held to 2 or fewer. And just once to 1. Still a ways to go in this 3rd period, though. Broken up. PT trying to get that swarm offense going with under 9 to play in regulation. So still more than half the period left. But you got to get 1 before you can get 2, says Captain Obvious. Masucci lost control of the puck, out to the line, cross rink, here's a chance, and missing the net on the shot, and the net comes off its moorings. Reed made the pass. I think Hilbert got a piece of that, in fact, as it tried to zip by his left ear. on the backdoor shot. We've seen Baldwin score on that in the first period during a power play. D to forward, left point to right circle. That time it was Trimber polishing it off. A clean face-off win, though, for Peters Township. And here they go, rambling down the ice. Cassiola overskated the puck. Kness is on the chase. He's working against Shipley. Shipley reverses the flow of the puck, but put it past Nick Buys. From behind the net, Masucci out to the line, but Woods couldn't kick it to his stick. It was a bouncing rolling puck, and he couldn't handle it cleanly. He's got to retreat to the red line and fire in with Trimber in his face. Trimber lays the body check. The two exchange some pleasantries, and Baldwin guns it down the ice. Easy icing call this time. 7:48 remaining in the third period. Well, time continues to tick. Now they've stopped. It was 7:45, so PT lost a couple of seconds. I wonder if they'll reload those. It doesn't appear that they will. Well, how many times has that happened over the course of a game? I'm not sure. Well, now they're looking back at the scorer's area, so maybe they are. Yes, they are adding those 3 seconds. Okay, so I wasn't losing it or making a mountain out of a molehill. Cassiola hacking at this loose puck after the face-off, and Baldwin comes up with it. Here are the Highlanders. Wrist shot from distance, and Hilbert saves and holds once again on the chance, that time from Joey Stanek, who has 4 goals on the season. This is the 17th game of the season for Baldwin. 18th for Peters Township. Barring something crazy, it looks like Peters Township is going to be at home in the first round, but obviously you'd love to be as high in the standings as possible, even though you don't reseed in the Penguins Cup playoffs after 1 round, before action moves on to the RMU Island Sports Center, I presume. Now known as Clearview Arena again, by the way. 7:15 to go in the third period. Of course, you got to win that first game, too. Centering pass, score! Baldwin makes it 4-1 on a Stanek shot from right between the hash marks. Couldn't get a better look, and he rifled it upstairs against Hilbert. And that might have done it for the Highlanders. A pick of the pocket in the corner, and a pass is a beaut to Stanek. The roof job under the crossbar. Solinsky was the man who took the puck away, I think, from McKenna there. As best I can tell. Yeah, McKenna, 52 for Peters Township, just got stripped from behind, wasn't ready for Ryan Solinsky's back pressure, and Solinsky put it right on the tape of Stanek, who I'm sure was yelling for it. Perfect finish. And Baldwin is on the verge of getting that impressive road win tonight and making it back-to-back victories in their pursuit of home ice advantage in the first round of the Penguins Cup playoffs. And it's pretty quiet at Prinscape outside of the fans in purple in the stands. And, of course, the boys on the visitors' bench down to our right. We have not seen something like this all year. A 3-goal lead for the visitors against Peters Township. PT has trailed in games this year, but not by this much. So here's the Highlanders' Belak trying to put a cherry on top of this sundae, but his shot from the right side, right edge of the circle, and that's saved by Hilbert. Belak ended up working himself into a worse angle there. Now he has the pickoff to Stanek, and he sends it in front, and Baldwin's got a 5th goal. With 6:04 to go, it's a 4-goal lead for the Highlanders. Stanek picked that off as Belak got back to his post out high. It was Stanek's turn, actually a rebound goal, and I think, returning the favor, that's Solinsky in front of the net who shoveled it in. So here's Baldwin up 5-1 now. A shocker at Prinscape, at least in terms of the scoreline right now. PT wasn't invincible, you knew that, but here's Kazarowski trying to backhand it in, and used some sleight of hand to beat Nowicki, but he couldn't do it. Kazarowski had the only goal for Peters Township in the second period. Mertens working against a couple of Highlanders. He lost control of the puck. Just a little spread out in the offensive zone for PT, not attacking in swarms as much as we're used to seeing. Give credit to Baldwin as well for moving the puck well in this game. And this goes for, well, not an icing. It's fielded behind the net by Peters Township and cleared up this near wing. Going after it is Slavin, but he can't get there in time. That's an icing the other way against PT. That's just the way this night's going. Yes, it is Solinsky from Stanek after it was Stanek from Solinsky. And Baldwin has the only 2 goals in this third period. They're out shooting Peters Township 28-21, and they're up by 4 in the all-important category, of course. Update from Boston. Pittsburgh leads it 3-2. Sidney Crosby has his 13th goal of the season on the power play. Assist from Rust and Gensel. So if you're looking for good news, I suppose you have the black and gold on the road tonight. Broadcast on AT&T Sportsnet as always. My good friend Steve Mears on the call. Side of the net, Hilbert has to push it away. Down to the final 5, and can Peters Township at least get one more on the board here to make Baldwin think about it? It's going to take one pretty quickly, you'd imagine, at this point. Shipley back to field. Lorenzo Shipley goes up right wing with it. Here's a shot from the top of the circle, and Hilbert handles and juggles and holds. 4:37 left in this third period. So Baldwin, what's left for them? Well, they host Cannon Mac on Thursday at 8:20. Another chance to move up the standings. And they'll have Mount Lebo, a team they're battling for that 4th spot, to at least get into 4th, to have a home game in the first round of the playoffs. That's next week, as back in the Baldwin zone. Turnover, backhand chance, Ben Kovac. There's Nowicki again, holding his ground. And then Baldwin finishes the season with a game at Central Catholic at the Alpha Ice Complex on February the 21st. So they finished their season well before Peters Township does. Really interesting. They'll be done in 11 days, and they'll have 2 weeks off before the start of the Penguins Cup playoffs. In the first full week of March, that'll be. Cleared right back in by Peters Township. Desperation time for the Tribe. Thanks for watching tonight's game on PetersHockey.tv, simulcasting on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest's YouTube channel. PT got within 2-1 in the second period, but ever since then, Baldwin has poured it on. Goals from Cooch and Solinsky and Stanek have made it a 4-goal advantage. With 4 minutes to go in the game, now under that, Tomko pinned against the wall, but he made the play off to Malley at the half wall. Malley, a strong move to the inside, loose puck on the goal line. Ben Kovac tried to push it in front. He was checked. Now Malley slugged it into the crease, and that's picked off and fired down the ice. No icing here, as it was deflected by a Peters Township defender. Long lead pass. That gets by everybody. Baldwin can regroup with 3:10 remaining in regulation. And very likely the game. Richard Woods in his return to the lineup tonight. Put a lot of pucks toward the net in the first period. Hasn't gotten many chances with the puck in the second and third periods, though. That's just the way the game goes sometimes. And Baldwin's played a solid game of keep away at times in this one. Cassiola leaning in here, spinning away from pressure. Trevor Belak, the senior stalwart defender. He made a beautiful pass in the first period to put Baldwin ahead 2-0 on a power play goal by Dom Trimber. This is icing against Baldwin with 2:38 left in the third. I don't know. I can't imagine we're going to see the goaltender come off for Peters Township, but I've seen stranger things in my time calling games at all levels of play. Much more in vogue to do something like that in the pros these days, though, it seems like. Hasn't really filtered down to amateur hockey. The aggressive goalie pull, even when, by all means, in previous years and decades, the game would have just been conceded. We're seeing less of that now, which I think is a good thing for the game. Hey, you see some more empty net goals at least, and also some more extra attacker goals and some more drama at the ends of games, which is never a bad thing. Anyway, not likely to see it here tonight, but just speculating, as Casiola rather, uses his body to protect the puck, but couldn't connect on the pass to Maxwell Kness. 2 goals in this period, both for Baldwin. Peters Township about to fall for just the 2nd time this year at home and the 5th time overall. And an impressive defensive effort. I said it before the game, Baldwin leans on its defense. They've allowed just 2 per or whereabouts on the year. Peters Township has scored 5, exactly 5 coming into this game per game. Well, that average is going to drop at least a little bit after this. And in their defense, that's hard to maintain, as Martin will pick this puck up in the left circle as he tried to stick handle his way past a couple of black-clad Highlanders and couldn't do it. Final 90 seconds, dumped in off the body of Hilbert from the corner. Now Shipley tries to chip it on goal, couldn't do it. To the point, and Belak dusts it off and shoots. That was blocked. Rejected out high by Andrew Alexander. Headman pass finds Martin again. Camden Martin to the outside. Again defended well on a stick check. And Baldwin's had most of the answers defensively in this one. Caleb Kovac with a minute to go in this game. Tries to find a man, instead he'll shoot on goal, and held by Nowicki. Doesn't want to spoil anything. Not that it's a shutout, but hey, 1 goal allowed against a team like this is a big feather in his cap. So he'll keep it with 55 seconds left in the third period. The puck eludes the reach of the Peters Township point man, but it's icing. So we'll do it again in the attack zone. .48 seconds left in this one. Hammered off the glass. Bamit's reader got crushed trying to make the play, and it skidded by him. Give him credit for hanging in there. Hard shot from Colin Cooch, bidding for his 2nd goal of the game, but that missed just barely, high and right. Final half minute, drop pass from Kazarowski. Finds Cooper Slavin. Swirling to the outside is Slavin. Stick handles. Finds Mertens. Tried to shoot it toward the goal. That was blocked. Slavin to the front of the net. Kazarowski got a deflection, and Nowicki swats it away to the corner with 13 seconds. Mertens, stick handle to the middle, had the puck free, but lost his stick on the check. Baldwin can't clear. Weird bounce off the partition. Down to the final 5 seconds. And the Highlanders have come into Prinscape Arena, and they pull out a 5-1 win impressively against Peters Township tonight. Baldwin improves to 9-5-3, 21 points. They're now in 5th place by themselves in the Class AAA standings. Meanwhile, Peters Township drops its 2nd game at home all year, and the first time it's been held to less than 3 goals at home all season long. They were averaging 6 on home ice coming into this game. They get just the 1 from Caden Kazarowski in the 2nd period, unassisted, and that's all. So Nolan Hilbert absorbs the loss. He's now 3-3 on the season. Eddie Nowicki is 9-5-3 for Baldwin. He has all the victories on the year for the Highlanders. Couple of goals for Dom Trimber in the first period. He now leads Baldwin with 8 on the season. And I mentioned Kazarowski, the lone goal getter for Peters Township, his 4th of the year. Coming up next for Peters Township, a trip up north to Erie as they'll face Cathedral Prep next Tuesday. Another Tuesday game. Then they'll have a week off leading into their finale of the regular season against Canon Mac. Also, Senior Day is this Sunday at Prinscape. So keep an eye on social media and all the channels pertinent to the Peters Township Hockey Club for more information on that. For Todd Kazarowski and all his crew at Prinscape Arena in South Point, this is Matt Geica saying good night. Once again, your final score, Baldwin 5, Peters Township 1 in a stunner from South Point. Talk to you next time on PetersHockey.tv and Berg Hockey Live.